Are those follow-up mistakes costing you thousands of dollars? In this video, I'm going to show you 6 big mistakes that people do when making follow-up. And don't worry, I also give you 6 easy fixes to help you boost your sales. So let's dive in. I checked several articles and stats don't lie. It seems that 5 to 8 or 5 to 12 follow-ups are usually necessary to convince someone to buy your product or service. And however, I cannot believe it, because in my experience, I only need 4 to 5 follow-ups to close the deal. So here are my stats. The company closing rate is between 55 to 80%, and it depends on the month of the year, because now we have vacation time and people don't respond pretty well. So I started thinking about it and noticed 6 key mistakes that could lead to making way more follow-ups than it's needed. Mistake number 1, not planning your follow-ups. So many people don't see follow-ups as a part of customer journey. Most marketers just follow up with reminders of the offer that they made. They don't highlight any new information. However, at this stage, people often don't see the full value or the full potential of your offer and what you do for them. In my experience, freelancers and small agencies often cold call me, set up a meeting, present their offer, and then they lose touch with me. They often fail to show me new information and value that I need to make an informed choice. So what's the solution? In your follow-ups, try to show a plan that you have for the client. Show the value that you can offer to them and understand their needs. In other words, plan the follow-ups as a part of your customer journey and educate your client about the value and services that you may provide to them. And one very important thing, at this stage of conversation, just inform your client what comes next. You want to show him that you have a plan and you already prepared certain steps that you can take to solve his problem. Mistake number 2, focusing on the product. And it's a really common mistake. People always call me and invite me to a meeting. I go to this meeting and they present me their offer during this meeting, right? But they don't ask me a single question what I need. And they know nothing about me. They say that their product and service is the best in class, best in the market, and it's really created for my special needs and solve my problem. But what are my needs? So after this brainwash, I leave the meeting, right? And I know everything about their product, but I leave without knowing how to achieve my success. How can I solve my problem using all those things that they mentioned? So what's the solution? Before showcasing your product, schedule an extra meeting and research the problem and the solution that you can offer to your client. Split the time you have for those meetings in 2. And with the first meeting, just focus on what your client needs. With this discussion, you can prepare for your client certain offer that solves this problem and connect the dots that you may see, but your client may not. And for instance, when I first call someone, the focus is on understanding what he needs. I don't mention a solution right away, because I tailor my services to fit their specific needs. If I don't know what they need and what is the problem, I cannot create an offer that is interesting to them. So this way, I can start asking what they need, how can I help, and what is the outcome that they are searching for. And on our next meeting, I will chat with them about what they mentioned before. I have prepared solutions connected with the features that I have with my service and products, and I connect those dots. I show the problem and the solution together. That way, my clients don't have to figure out the solution by themselves. And of course, one important thing, after each meeting, I do follow-up where I show next steps that we can take to solve this problem. Mistake number 3, giving too much attention too late. So this connects back to the second mistake and explain why it happened. So when it comes to making sales, we often think that spending more time with certain clients will seal the deal, right? But that's not always the case. The second mistake happens when you don't spend enough time early in the process. You need to first know your client and answer their needs. As a result, our offer can miss the mark and don't respond to the values and solutions that our client needs. So what's the solution? Spend more time with your client at the beginning. If you want to make a sale or gain a new client, invest time in getting to know them initially. Research their problems and create solutions to address their issues. This way, you spend more time upfront, but you save time later on, because the client starts off with getting really great first impression of you, right? So instead of spending more time with the clients that are already later in the process, you can double the efforts at the beginning. After that, just remind your clients about the solution and maybe give them some more information if they need them. Mistake number 4, showing features without the solution. When you spend too little time with clients, you often end up showing the services, products, and the features without explaining how they can benefit clients. For example, let's say your client needs to transport heavy stuff from one place to another, right? If you're selling a car for business transport, you don't just highlight the cargo capacity. Instead, you show how this car will make the transport easier and more efficient. Don't make your client figure out the solution themselves. They may not be an expert in this field, and what seems obvious to you may not be as clear to them. So, the solution? Find the client problem. Look at the features that you have in your products and services and solve this problem with those features. This way you'll be addressing a specific issue that someone has, and the offer won't be generic pitch that you show to every client you meet. Mistake number 5. Follow on your promises. So this is really common, and I'm guilty of it myself. When you are in process of acquiring a client, you may mention that you will send something or prepare something by tomorrow or by other day, right? If you set a deadline, you need to stick to it. It's simple as that, but often people promise to look into something and don't follow up through it. They end up being 2 to 3 days late, and often they explain themselves by some personal reasons. So what's the solution? If you realize you can't make it on the deadline, let your clients know that you will be late. So my best practice is to say sorry and mention that you are still working on solution. For example, you could ask if they prefer solution A or B in this proposal. By doing this, you show that you are working hard to deliver the best results possible. Most clients will be cool with waiting extra day or 2 if they get more value from you. Mistake number 4. Not answering a question. Usually, when you are figuring out what customer needs and what is the problem that you are facing, you ask some specific questions. But remember, meetings are two-way streets. Clients also have questions for you. For instance, they may ask you if the price can be lower. So how to handle this? Just give a straight answer, yes or no. So if a client asks you if it can be cheaper, you can definitely say yes, but we need to cut something from the offer. The offer is designed to meet your needs. If you want it cheaper, sure, we can do it. Just keep in mind that we may not be at the same level of expertise or success that you are expecting from us. By explaining it this way, you address the client's question and make it clear why the price is as it is. So there you have it. I hope those tips will help you to avoid common follow-up mistakes and boost your sales. But do you want to see more tips about boosting your sales? Check this video. Trust me, it's awesome.